Good morning, everybody. I'm Anna Brunston, Community Manager for Hornbill. I'd like to welcome and thank you for joining today's webinar, where we'll be finding out the steps to a successful platform upgrade with Nadeem Rasool, Application Support Specialist. Just to inform you, the delegate audio will remain muted during the presentations to help facilitate flow and timekeeping. If you do have questions during the presentation, or after the session, please type into the GoToMeeting question facility on the right-hand side of your screen. We will collate the questions and answer them at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for taking the time to attend. I'll now pass you over to Nadeem.
Thank you, Anna. Welcome, everyone. We'll be looking into the steps to a successful platform upgrade on Supportworks today. So, my name is Nadeem Rasool. I'm one of the members of support working in Hornbill. So the content for today is, before doing anything on the system, there are certain things that you need to look out for when performing a platform upgrade. If you're using our database, which is MySQL, then you really should need to check this. This is for anyone who's using Oracle or Microsoft SQL. I'll be showing you where to look for these ones, and you can see them on the screen. There'll be a lot of people always ask, is my customization safe? This is what we get always asked in Hornbill. And on the presentation, I'll guide you of the answer, which is basically your customizations are safe. Always before doing an upgrade, perform a backup of the server. A lot of reasons today is a lot of people do have virtual servers, so they can simply take a snapshot. And I'll be performing a routine platform upgrade. It'll be going from 760 to 762, which is our latest version. So, understanding Supportworks. So the screen that you're showing at the moment is the actual how Supportworks is broken down. So we have 3 different aspects in with Supportworks. We've got the core services, you've got the platform, and you've got the application. The core services are the actual PHP files, the MySQL, and the Apache, all the services on there. The platform, which consists of the Supportworks server as well as Supportworks client, that's what we're going to be upgrading. And the applications like ITSM, HR, ITSMF, that's separate really. So, before upgrading, you need to check your database entities in the Supportworks database schema editor. These will all be done on the Supportworks server. The reason why I'm asking you to check this before you do an upgrade is that support has found that people have changed servers when they're using the Microsoft SQL or Oracle. And what happens is, if you don't check this particular thing, then you'll find that when the upgrade happens, it doesn't upgrade the database correctly, and then you find you may have problems with the services still being down when you're trying to launch it, and then we'll normally get the phone calls really. So if you just do this one spot check right in the beginning before you do anything to do with upgrading, and then check to see if everything's correctly. If it is, it's fine. If it hasn't, then please just confirm the correct details. But I will show you this on the screen where to check all of these. Okay, so the next thing that we get asked a lot in support is my customization safe? Short answer, yes. The platform upgrade will not affect your customizations. As you've seen for the previous screen, all your changes will be made in the application, which is a layer upon the platform. So the platform itself does not have any coding at all. It's simply the server as well as the executable files. So if you do find, however, that there is an issue with your templates or anything like that, since the upgrade, please contact support. We need to know about this information, and we will help you ASAP. Also, a platform upgrade can be done on the whole 7 series, really. So, for example, if you're on 7.4 and you want to upgrade to 7.62, you don't need to go to 7.4, 7.5, 7.6, 7.62. You don't need to do that. You just need to, once you're 7.4, you can install to 7.62, and it should be fine, really. One thing, again, is always a backup. Backup your system, and you'll be fine, because you can always revert back to rollback. And also suggest as well as when you perform an upgrade, do it on your test server. If you don't have a test server, please try. See if you can set up a test server. A test server should be a basic clone of your live server. So what we're going to be showing you is where to download the latest version. Now, this is on our CCP, our Customer Community Portal. To access our Customer Community Portal, you actually need a maintenance contract. So Hornbill Care will actually give you a username and password to gain access to the TCP. I will show you where to download and what the password is, if needed. The actual CCP will actually tell you, and I'll highlight it for you, where the actual password is, and you just need to put that in if it actually prompts you for it. Also, after the upgrade, we'll show you how to use the correct version of Supportworks client. As we're using from 7.6.0, a 7.6.0 client can't work with a 7.6.2 server. So I'll show you how to install and download and install the correct version, and it's pretty easy as you can be able to see. I'll show you now how to go. So the first thing is, what we have to do is to check the database entities in the Supportworks database schema editor. So the best way you can do that is when you go on your Supportworks server, if you just go to Start, Programs, Hornbill Core Services, and then Hornbill Database Schema. Okay, so and what you need to do is you need to go to Database, Manage Database Schema, and then here you have the database entities. Here, where the DNS and the user ID, it should always all be set up to pointing to where your database is held. Now, this is really for MS SQL or Oracle. If you were using MySQL, this shouldn't really matter at all. It would always be the same. It's just literally we have a lot of people who are who have moved their database from another server. So yeah, this will be the place to check and change. If you haven't moved your database to somewhere else, and you made the changes within the Supportworks server configuration, but however you haven't made the changes here, then what would happen is that when you go to install the software, this particular program is used to write the information into the database, and you would find that there are some fields that have not been inserted correctly for 7.6.2 to be used, and that's the reason why when you start up the software, the services doesn't start up. So so this would be the very first spot check to do, really. So this is where we are at the moment. To check the actual link to the actual database, you will go to Database, Manage Database Entity. This is what's important for your link to your database. Like I said before, if you're using MySQL, it shouldn't really matter at all here, but if you're using Microsoft SQL as well as Oracle, this is what you want to check. You want to make sure your ODBC link is set correctly here. A lot of people mentioned before is they've moved their Microsoft server to another server, basically because of database size or something like that. So yeah, once they moved, they may have made the changes within the Supportworks server configuration, but some people forget about this part really. So this is one thing to really check. So all you want to do is, if you find that these details have changed, click on Edit. Make sure you're using the correct DNS, the correct user ID, and the password. And once that's all set correctly, you should click on OK. If you're not too sure about what this information is, ask your database administrator. He would know, or your IT guys. Okay. So if you click OK and OK again, so what we now need to do, and we can close this off. We don't need to use this anymore. So what we need to do now is we need to download the actual package. So to do that, we need to go onto our community portal. So do that now for you. So what we're going to do is, this will be your Hornbill CTP. Like I said before, Hornbill Care will actually give you a login name for username and password. So what you want to do is, if you want to download the latest version, you simply go to Support, go to Downloads, And in here you will actually see Supportworks ESP v6.762 server. At the moment, I've got installed on the computer 760. So I want to download this. And here's where I said before, when they'll ask you for the installation password, there it is. So for the installation password is OK Computer and 3 exclamation marks. So you can see that there, OK Computer and 3 exclamation marks. That will be the password. So what we're going to do is go and download that now. This is a message that will be internally, but shouldn't be any problem with when you have it. Okay, so now we've downloaded it, and it'll probably be in the download part of your browser. So what we want to do is simply connect. I'll double click on it. And you'll get this little message come up. So if we just say run. Okay, so we've got a message come up saying must install Cosmos 3.1. Okay, so let's check this. Some versions are needed. You need specific versions of core services. So I'm going to download that and install that for you. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just updating our core service. This will be something you don't need to do really. This is only something internally that we've done down here. But this is another installation as well for core services. Again, this is something if you were to do an upgrade, because we recently released 3.1.4, which included security fixes. And again, for core services, it won't change any, won't have anything to do with templates or anything like that. So any changes you've made, it will be fine really. So if you ever get this message come up, just say yes, because the core service will always give you a later version. Starts up, I think. This is going to be kind of similar to what you had before as well. For the actual Supportworks server, it will do the same thing. So if I click on finish, this will already start up in the background. As you can see, everything's running. So what I'm going to do now is just install the actual installation. Okay, so we get an upgrade wizard come up now. This is what happens when you come up when you upgrade from any versions of the 7.6 series. The setup will actually tell you that it's detected an existing installation on your computer, and you'll have some information. And basically, it's just a warning to say, you know, if you have any analysts currently connected to your server, you need to have them log out before you continue. So at this point, you just contact everyone to say, guys, the system's going to be down for a while we upgrade your Supportworks server. So that's what this message is all about, really. So I'm going to click next. We have the standard license agreement. I would suggest, if it was possible, to go through this, have a quick read through this, really skim down. But yeah, once you've skimmed down, read it all, you can agree to it and click on next. Now this is at this point, after you click on next here, this is where you can start. If anyone is going to be logged into the Supportworks client, it will kick them off. So at this point, you would want to make sure everyone is off the system. So if they're off, then you can just click on next, and you'll find the services will be stopped. Again, like how it was done before, when you're still in the Hornbill core services, it's exactly the same screen that's happening. You can see it's just stopping every single services. it will be installed. The software will be installing different DLLs that are needed, including the Microsoft own ones, and these are all files in back for the back end. So anything to do with the Hornbill services, also documentation of that, anything that's been added in really. So there was a couple of for 762 there was a new field being entered in, the H underscore call ref, formatted call ref, and this will be included in the documentation, but also it's included in our release notes as well. So you may want to find, I'll show you later on where it's, this screen you're looking at the moment, well the screen has disappeared now, that screen is when the actual database itself was been upgraded. So here, this is the information now all starting up, and you should see, we should get a successful message and the installation is completed. So if we click on finish and make sure this is ticked, the best thing you can see is this bit here where it says congratulations. And what you want to do is you can also go to client software, and this will be the next part itself, which is we need to upgrade our Supportworks client. Now, the reason why I say we have to upgrade our Supportworks client is if I was to go to Start, Programs, Supportworks 760, and click on the client, you will get this message come up. I can show you that. And this message says, this Supportworks client is wrong version for the server you are connecting to. So the best thing you can do for the guys is say no to that, cancel out of that, and on the actual screen you're looking at the moment, which is on the server, if you go to the client software, you've actually got the Supportworks client there, and you've got this action for install. So if you were to click on this button, install, it will save it locally to your system, and then you'll just run it, and then you'll get this screen come up now. And this is what everyone will need to do who is going to be using the Supportworks client. So they'll just need to go next, again, the standard license agreement, so agree to that, and then go there next. I always would say for everyone rather than me really, so click on next. Again, self-explanatory, it's putting it in its own directory, so it's going to be away from 760. They're all in different directories, all get installed in different directories. And then, as this will say here, you can install it side by side. You can install it side by side. You have got the ability to remove older versions as well. So if you're always going to be using Bleeding Edge, you can set that option, and that will remove the older version. But I'll have it side by side. Again here, so this is going to connect to localhost. I'm on a server. You may have IP address here. You might have computer names here. But always would check to see, to make sure this is correct. I always say here is click on test connections, and yeah, test is successful. So if I go to next, and then the final bit is just going to say to you, you know, going to start to begin install, just click install. And then you get the progress bar coming up again. It's a pretty small file anyway. It's only 70 megs, and then here we are. You'll have it'll get installed quickly, right? And then you can just launch it as normal. So hopefully, let me just bring it up now. So you get this message come up here. So I just put in my password. And you can see that message has disappeared now. The other one that says you're using an old version, we're on a new version. We now have 762. How we know? If we go to help and about, we've now got the Supportworks 762 Enterprise. Right, and that's essentially it really. It is simple. This is out of all of Hornbill. This is one of the easiest installations. You really just need to make sure first of all that the actual database schema editor has the correct details. If it doesn't, it's one importing information into the database, which may cause services to not start up. And that's something we've seen in support, really. So that's one thing you want to check. But as you can see, the Supportworks server itself is pretty easy. You just click on next, and yeah, it'll guide you through and install. The only other thing is to get everyone who was using another version of the client to upgrade them to 7.6.2. And to do that, all you need to do is just put in, if you just go to the computer name itself, go into the SW part, you go to the client software itself, and then you can get it to download and install that information. And that's generally it, really, for the installation. So I will hand it over to Anna.
Thank you very much, Nadeem, for that, and apologies again, everyone, for the slight technical problem that we had there. We'll look into that and make sure it doesn't happen again in the future. We'll just open up. Obviously, if anyone does have any questions, please use the go-to meeting facility on the right-hand side of your screen and type them in. We do have a couple now, so I'll read a couple out and adjust them to Nadeem. So, what are the server requirements for 7.6.2?
So that's what are the server requirements. Okay, so the server requirements, we actually have it listed here for you, if you like. Let me just put that here to show you on the screen. Okay, so what we have for any new thing, you have the server installations, and you actually we have actual system requirements, and you've got server requirements here. So this is what we support at the moment on the screen. It's on if you go to community.hornbill.com and go into the documents, you don't need to be logged in at all. You just can click on the document here, or you can just use docs.hornbill.com. This is for the actual Microsoft operating system. We also have the hardware requirements as well for server hardware requirements. If you click on that, and this is what we explain about what we use for memory and CPU, as well as disk capacity, and and this is what we normally give for customers, because basically expected size of the SQL database. Because a lot of people are asking down to this specs, really. So I would suggest is if you want to go to this particular section on our documentation, and you can have it. Each site will be different. They're going to be larger sites, so they would need a lot more memory, CPU. Like we have here, we've got concurrent users. If you only have up to 10, then you just need one meg and a single core, really. This is what we found in our testings. If you're going to have loads more people, like 100 analysts to the 500, you're going to need 4 memories and one quad core. This is to have optimal performance within Supportworks. Okay.
Thank you for that, Nadeem, and we will make the link to the CCP available after with the recording link as well. So if you don't use it already, hopefully you have access to that after today's session. A couple more questions is, what are the client requirements?
The client requirements. Right, the client requirements, we'll say, again, on the community itself, we have a Supportworks client. This is what we support here, standard Windows 7, Windows 8, really, and Vista. The Supportworks itself, the Supportworks client itself can run on Windows XP. However, it will be a case of, as XP is not supported anymore by Microsoft, if there was any errors due to problems being with XP, then we would unfortunately fix that. If it was working fine in Windows 7 and Vista, but just on XP, then it was something that may not be patched, I'm afraid, really. But yeah, again, these are all the requirements that we would, Supportworks has been known to work with and does work with, really.
Okay, another question is, how do I check what version of core services we are currently running?
Yes. So what you want to do is, for the core service, you would want to look at your computer, your server name. So I'll show you here as well. So as I've got it installed locally here, what I'll do is I'll put in localhost, but this will be a computer's name really. And here we have a whole list of what we currently is installed. So you can see there we've got core services 3.1.2.1.3, which is what I installed in the beginning of this webinar. I think it was on 3.1.1 beforehand. So yeah, this is the perfect place to check to see what version of Hornbill core services you have, as well as your Supportworks server.
Perfect, thank you. We had someone that may have missed this, so we'll just, it may not have been covered, but are you able to confirm what customizations will not be affected, if possible, please?
Yes, of course. The customization, all customizations you've done on your forms should not be affected. This is simply basically with Supportworks server, it shouldn't really touch anything at all on your system. It will only upgrade the server installation files as well as the Supportworks client installation files. Nothing should be touched on your template. As mentioned before, again, if you find anything that has changed to do with your templates, please give support a call and we will investigate this for you ASAP.
Perfect, thank you. And what web browsers work in the web client?
Okay, so browsers, we would support web clients. We would support the normal. It's been known to work with normal browsers, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox. We do also have supported web browsers here as well. So as for this one, we said web client. You can see there we support Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Chrome. We also on our on the community we've got about self-services as well as the analyst portal as well of what we support on those particular ones. So yeah, I mean I would suggest these are the ones we support at the moment.
Great, thanks. We'll just see if there's been any more questions that have come in. There have been a few. Let me just read them. When would be the best time to upgrade the server, and for hours or at weekends?
Okay, so the best thing we found with support really is some clients would actually try to upgrade their servers during the weekend. And what would happen is that the system would fail for some, and then it wouldn't start up. I'm afraid at the moment support works from Mondays to Fridays, 9 o'clock to 5:30. So the weekends, if you think your server's gone down, then yeah, you could restore to your snapshot, or you can restore to your backup and get up and running. However, if you find that your live server's down and you have no backup at all, then I'm afraid you need to wait until Monday really. With this in mind, that's what we normally suggest is if you're going to upgrade, try to upgrade early in the weekend, weekday itself, like Monday or Tuesday or something like that, out of hours. So yeah, so if you ever find you have a problem, then we can help you the next day, because we would come in early anyway, and we'll find you. If you were to email in saying an urgent message that your system is down, we would call you up and do a remote session and fix it really. It's yeah, it's generally our weekends. We would always say take a snapshot, do a backup really, and revert to your backup if you can. And also, as always, please, with any upgrades, please test on your test server.
Very important. Thanks, Nadeem. Just have a couple more come in. Would you be able to just cover the new features and improvements in this version?
Yeah, okay, so 7.6.2, we actually, again, it's one of those things that we've written for you. And hopefully you should be able to see the screen. Yep, so what we have here in our release notes, so to get to this, all I did is come to Supportworks ESP, go to version 7.6.2, go to the release notes, and we've got in here new in Supportworks ESP 7.6.1 and 7.6.2. Okay, so if we click on that, we can see within the new 7.6.2, we have a new dashboard and trending engines. Basically, like it's similar to the Supportworks Today page, but a bit more. You can add a bit more details into it. This will explain. This gives you a brief overview of what you can do to check on your service desk. We also got flexible formatting of call references. So as before, you used to use the old FO numbers. Now you can use like incidence numbers. So you can use IN00, or if you've got a change request, CH, or if you've got a service request, SR. So you can use all of this, and this is what this part explains really. Again, we've enhanced VPME scripting, and sort of like behind-the-scenes background improvements to do with emails as well as the Supportworks Messenger as well. But one of the big ones for visual aspects is essentially the new dashboard and trending engine. That's one of the bigger ones we've written for this one, and also what a lot of people have really asked for, which is the flexible formatting of call refs. That's one of the new features for 762.
Thank you. I think we just have one more question, and it's when will support for Internet Explorer 10.11 be added?
We are currently looking into it at the moment. This is something that is being developed. I know that even support gets a lot of calls on this, and really, as yet I have no actual fixed date of when it will be, but it will be something that I can check for you really, and give the information back to Anna really for you. Yeah, but it is on. I know it is on the ball really. So yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Nadeem, and thank you everybody for attending today's session. I hope we have got through all the questions. There's quite a few coming through. If we have missed you off, or you need additional information, obviously feel free to contact myself or your relationship manager. But yes, I hope you found it useful. The recording will be made available on the Supportworks YouTube channel later today. I'll also send it out in email and include the CCP link. But thank you everyone for joining today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar on the 19th of March. Speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.